morning. Welcome to day 84, May 12th. It's 6 o'clock. I left my buddy's cabin about 15 minutes ago, and I'm walking through Pine Grove Furnace State Park. And here's the general store yesterday where I had the cheeseburger and the fries. This, you see the Hershey's ice cream sign. This is where you do the half-gallon challenge, but they're closed right now, so I'm not going to get any ice cream or anything else for that matter. I'm trying to do 17 miles to the day's end before the predicted storms come in, so that's why I got an early start. I'm supposed to get here about 3 o'clock. I really want to thank my friend Steve for hooking me up with the cabin, and it was really good spending time with him, catching up. I hadn't seen him since 2011. Went through some training together. This is a museum, by the way. I'll have to drive up here another time to see all this. "1,090 miles to Mount Katahdin." It's very appropriate that they put the museum here, being that it is at the halfway point. And it was open yesterday, but I didn't have time to go in and see it. But hopefully someday I'll get to come back and see it. And as I was saying, it was great to see my friend, and the hospitality that he extended me was just incredible. And this cabin is really nice. I didn't talk much about it last night. It was built in the 30s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, which also built parts of the AT. So very interesting, all the projects that the Civilian Conservation Corps built, and how that helped America get back on its feet and out of the Great Depression. Here is the restrooms and bathhouse for the lake. So there's 2 showers in that middle area there. The snack bar was not open yesterday. I don't think they're in season yet. And over there is a lake with a swimming area. And a lady at the snack bar told me I could swim there if I wanted to, but it seems a little early in the year for that. There's a better view of the lake over there. But I didn't have time anyway. But if you're coming through here and you have the time and the water's warm enough, might be a nice experience for you. Here's a better view of the lake and the swimming area. And as you can see, there's someone out fishing already. I'm sure they're enjoying their morning. One thing that I wanted to mention is that whatever was going on with the arch of my right foot has cleared itself up now. I didn't have to take any Motrin yesterday, and so far this morning it feels pretty good. So all right, we've gotten out of the main part of the park now. So with that, this is Reboot heading north. Something else I forgot to mention in the opening segment this morning is when I was talking about the gratitude I had for my friend Steve, everything he did for me. I was hiking with a couple other thru hikers yesterday. They said, "Where are you staying?" I said, "Oh, I have a buddy that has a cabin in Pine Grove Furnace State Park, and he's going to let me stay there." And they said, you're a popular person. You know a lot of people. And if you know me, nothing could be farther from the truth. And I told him that, and I said, I just happen to know the right people in the right places. And I've just had some, I almost called it luck or good fortune, but just, I have been fortunate enough to know a lot of good people during my life, and it's paying off on this trip. And so I just want to take a moment to thank my family members who have taken time to come and meet me on the trail and bring me things, and all the support that I get on my Facebook page from friends, family, people that I worked with for 28 years, people that I worked on camp staff with at Boy Scout Camp Raven Knob back in the mid and late 80s, people I went to high school with that I haven't seen in years. I know there's a lot of evils about Facebook, and there's been some controversy lately that I haven't been watching the news, so I've missed out on that, but I've seen the comments on Facebook. But it sure does keep people together that otherwise would lose touch. And a lot of people have reached out to me, a few people in person, but a lot of people through Facebook with the supportive comments and the humor at some of the things that happened to me, all in good taste. And I get a lot of texts from people that I worked with a lot of support. So people like Jim W, aka Jelly Bean, although I think he hates that name. Sorry, Jim, but everybody knows you as that. And Gerald S sends me a lot of texts, and Tom G, him and his son do some backpacking, and he's been sending me some comments. And there's probably a lot of other people at work that aren't coming to mind right now, but the last boss I had, who I used to have as a peer when I worked in another section, Michael S. Oh, of course, Steve H, who I gave him the trail name Hemi, which if you knew him, you would understand. But like I said, if I'm not mentioning your name, John O, big supporter, and he actually brought a lot of attention to me through the Facebook page that it's related to my old job. And like I said, there's a lot of other people. My neighbors that used to live across the street, Rick and Taylor, get a lot of comments from them. Appreciate that. My neighbor next door, Danielle, sends me texts from time to time. And of course, that's my wife's family. I've talked about them, the girls, but my mother-in-law is always commenting on my posts. and her best friends, Dot and Jules, who came and met me a couple times. So, as I said, I've just been really honored and humbled by the people that have been willing to help me, and even the strangers on YouTube. You know, all you guys too that leave positive comments and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I don't know what a pole steeple is, but I don't think I'm going to go to it today because there's storms coming in this afternoon. But like I said, positive comments from total strangers. Patches 2019, SWAT Sullivan, and they comment on a lot of AT YouTube videos. The surprising thing is, I haven't gotten a troll yet. And I don't know, maybe I'm either not popular enough for a troll, or the trolls get so bored with my monotone voice and my mouth breathing going uphill that maybe they just want to move on to somebody else more interesting. But anyway, I'll know if I get a troll. I'll know I've reached a certain level of popularity on YouTube. So oh, I keep forgetting a lot of people aren't familiar with these terms. A troll is somebody that comes on, makes a comment on your videos, and they're trying to entice you to react to them. And I mean, they're mean-spirited people, otherwise they wouldn't be doing that. I mean, what kind of loser picks a random person on the internet and tries to get in some online banter with a total stranger who's, in my case, trying to accomplish a great adventure? There's a lot of them out there because of the anonymity of YouTube. And some people read the comments and take them personally, and they make the mistake of, instead of just blocking them, they reply back to them, and it just goes downhill from there until some people get so fed up with it they make a video. This is my last video because I can't take the trolls being so negative, which is exactly what they want. So, you know, if you want to mess with them, you fire back at them, or you can just block them, realize that they are the losers that they are, and go on with your adventure. That's enough rambling for now. Some people like the rambling. I know Red Mage last year, he could go on and on and on, and a lot of people commented that they liked that. I think Red Mage is probably more interesting than me, especially considering his gear introduction video. If you want to see something really interesting, go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. He has a 5-pound tent and 5 knives to start out with, but the interesting thing is how he evolved into a thru hiker with the right gear and the right mental attitude, and he made it to Katahdin. So it's actually one of the more interesting journeys if you take the time to follow it. And from everything that I gathered listening to him, he's a pretty upright guy. So, okay, I said enough rambling, and I kept rambling. It's 1 o'clock, and I'm at the Alec Kennedy shelter, and the sun is out. It's about 63 degrees or so, and I'm stopping here today, which sounds crazy. I've never stopped at a shelter at 1 o'clock, but they're calling for thunderstorms with possible hail and high gusts of winds, and also possible tornadoes. So I'm going to stay here in the shelter because there's not another shelter for, I think, over 20 miles. And the day's end is at 11 and a half. And I wouldn't make it there before the storm started, so I'm going to stay here. And it's a pretty nice shelter. I already got my spot claimed. And another thing of note is this is the nicest privy that I have experienced on the Appalachian Trail. And I know you're going to think that this is gross, but I got to share this with you. It's a new privy. I mean, look at that ramp. It's got a weighted pulley system that closes the door behind you. And it's got a latch, and it's got windows on each side, which a lot of these privies you go into and they're dark. You almost need a headlamp to do your business. And a wooden toilet seat. And a bucket of wood chips to put in after you're done. And nice handles. By far the nicest privy I've seen. And this was built by the Mountain Club of Maryland. I don't know why the Mountain Club of Maryland builds things in Pennsylvania, but way to go, Mountain Club of Maryland. This is going to be the wrap-up video for day 84. It's 5 or a little after 5 o'clock, and we're hearing thunder off in the distance. So the storms, as promised, are finally here. So I did do 15.6 miles today, but you know, I got here at 1 o'clock, so I spent it uploading videos. So if you guys enjoy that, but that's going to be it for day 84. I'm in the shelter for the thunderstorm or hail or tornado or whatever comes. So with that, it's all good in the woods.